Hi, this is Logan Garibay, and today I want to talk about Tasha's Guide to Everything. So there's lots of people who will break down the content in the book. I want to talk about, I'm really fascinated nowadays about what each core Dungeons and Dragons reference book, and actually that's a great point. This is a reference book and not an adventure, what it displaces. Because one of the things is we only get 2 or 3 256 page hardback rules books, adventures, reference, whatever, each year, right? And get this, one of the things that's really fascinating is, to my knowledge, I don't think they're updating when they're creating the PHP and the DMG and the monster manual. They don't even put errata in there. Like maybe they're fixing errata, but they don't make changes, right? And there have been, they are not making a 5.5 edition, right? And I think one of the reasons why is the 3.0, 3.5, that was a mess. That nobody liked that, and like most people consider the 3.0 trash, and they just try to get the 3.5 books, and that's a mess. Nobody wants books that are considered trash, right? Like, so they got to keep the monster manual, the PHP, and the DMG really core. But all these auxiliary books, right? These core 256 page, same size as the Dungeon Master, not a box set. We only get 2 or 3 of these a year, right? And the D&D community has massive requests. They have just really, really significant requests saying, I want this, I want that, and they're not getting it, right? The D&D community is not getting what they want from Wizards of the Coast. So every time there's a new book, they're hoping, what I want will be in here, right? And what I mean by this, well, we got Eberron, but where are the other settings, right? Everybody wants a Dark Sun book. Everybody wants Faerun books. Everybody wants real settings, right? Not these nonsense synergy MTG, books, right? So where are they? So when Tasha's Cauldron of Everything was created, it displaced some things. So what did it displace? Well, one, an adventure. Yes, and more yes, right? Who needs adventures? Nobody. Absolutely nobody needs adventures. The worst dungeon masters in the world use pre-gens. Every other decent dungeon master just makes their own stuff. Nobody needs a 256-page, adventure, right? Completely unnecessary, right? So I'm really down for replacing adventures with these reference books, right? And not even reference books, but option books. That might be a good way. And that's another issue is Talldrin's Cauldron to Every is really an options book. Every single thing in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is optional. It's essentially really what you could really think of. And now that we're here, right? Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and a Xanathar's Guide to Everything. These are all just additional chapters to the DMG. That's really the best way to understand them, right? And I think that's great. I'm really down with this. And I will take these over an adventure any day of the week. I think it's fantastic. I love these option books, right? Much, much better than filling our space with another thoroughly needless adventure, right? So, and you're really making, like, every adventure to get published by Wizards of the Coast makes the DM community weaker. It's complete nonsense. I don't understand why they waste their time with them. But with Tasha's Cauldron Everything, this is a great option. I love that it's displacing us from getting another. I certainly love that it's displacing us from getting another MTG synergy book. Do not want more of those. And I love that it's displacing adventure books. Great, all for it. Okay. So what else did it displace? Well, it displaced, in a lot of its core content, it displaces Dungeon Master material and replaces it with player material. One of the things a lot of people have noticed is that it has really displaced material for Dungeon Masters, and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is a ton of player options. So material directly for players, usable by players, now the one thing that's weird is because it's optional, you could be a player and buy Tasha's Cauldron of Everything and then get shut down by your GM. Now I'll tell you right now, don't be a jerk. If you're a dungeon master and a player comes to you and says, hey, I want to run this Tasha's Cauldron of Everything option, let them. Good Lord, right? Don't like. I think only a jerk DM would disallow something in an official Wizards of the Coast book. And the thing is, they're very careful about balance, right? You're just being petty, in my opinion, right? So, and especially if your player takes the time to buy a book, don't say no. That's just cruel, in my opinion. So I really think it's important that you actually do the right thing and give that option. So overall, I'm very excited about Tashas Cauldron and everything. I love what it's displacing. I would love to see more books like this. I also think it's really cool to make Tasha a little bit more important part of Dungeons & Dragons lore by making an official book. That's very real. It's a decision, right? And it is inviting female players into the game, which I think, the community needs to do more of that. That's my opinion. What do you think? I'd love to hear your opinion on what you think Tasha's Cauldron of everything is displacing and what you think of the book. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.